This is the Leitmotif and Movement Podcast, a father and son's journey into the vast worlds of music. I am your host, Mike Ficklin, and joining me on this epic musical journey is my son,
Michael Ficklin.
This show is dedicated to the discussion of music and introducing Michael to music from the past and present. We discuss music mainly from the genres of rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. We also, from time to time, dive into film and video game scores, and we sprinkle in some surprises along the way. Michael, what have you been listening to this week?
So, I've been on a giant journey.
So I've heard. Let's hear about it.
So, I started my journey out by finishing up listening to all the Coheed albums. That was a fun journey.
The Coheed albums are an amazing journey. You gonna give us some detail on what you like, what you didn't like?
I liked all the albums. The albums that really stood out to me were In Keeping Secrets and the newest record from them.
Vaxis 3?
Yeah. Also, I've been on my Van Halen journey. I've been listening to all the Sammy Hagar era of Van Halen.
Nice.
I am through half, which is they did 4 records with Sammy, so I'm
you're
through 2.
up through OU812?
Yes.
I know this is probably your real first experience with OU812. Any particular favorite songs for you?
Mine All Mine, When It's Love, Finish What You Started. Those are really standout tracks to me.
Mine All Mine is my personal favorite song from the record. That song is an absolute banger. And it's really the closest thing to a progressive rock song that Van Halen ever got. What else you been listening to?
That's really it, other than the assignments.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you have really taken off. I'm really proud of you for stepping up and deciding to dive into some of these catalogs by yourself. Are you planning to get into some David Lee Roth era Van Halen?
Maybe. I'm still debating on that one.
You really should. It's really, really good. I mean, obviously, David Lee Roth is a different singer than Sammy, but I'm telling you right now, the Roth era records are so worth your time.
All right. I think it's your turn.
All right. So for me, I didn't really have a whole lot of time over the last couple of weeks to just really sit down and dedicate myself to listening to music. However, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Metallica put out a remastered deluxe box set for Load. Let me just start with saying that I have thoroughly enjoyed the deluxe box sets that Metallica has been releasing for all of their catalog so far. Getting to listen to demos, rarities, and live performances from each time period is an amazing experience. However, I have to admit that when the Load box set was announced, I was a bit nervous, to say the least. I hadn't listened to Load in years. I wasn't a big fan of the record, despite there being a few good songs on there. That said, I did commit to checking out the massive Load remastered box set. This thing is massive. 233 songs across 16 discs. That's nearly 21 hours of music. I have not finished listening to the entire thing yet. I've listened to the first 8 discs, and I plan to get to the remaining 8 soon. I have to say that I still don't find Load to be all that interesting. It's far from Metallica's best work. It feels really bloated. I could easily cut half the songs on the record and make a pretty good EP with it. I do still enjoy songs like Ain't My Bitch, 2x4, Until It Sleeps, King Nothing, and The Outlaw Torn. The rest leave a lot to be desired. I will give Metallica credit for attempting something different for them. Gone are their thrash metal roots. Replacing them are influences from blues rock, southern rock, hard rock, and a smidge of grunge. Sometimes the songs work, but more often they just don't land. Beyond the remastered album on the first disc, we get into a live performance from Lollapalooza 1996 on the second disc. It's really quite good. I like it a hell of a lot more than the actual album itself. Discs 3 to 7 are titled Shadowcast and are the demos of the songs from Load. This is the stuff I really loved on the previous Metallica remaster box sets. Getting to hear the step-by-step process of the creation of the songs, from scratch demos to completed product. I find that part of the creation fascinating. The Load demos do not disappoint in that regard. I had hoped that by listening to the demos and getting a feel for their intention, that I might begin to appreciate the final album tracks more. Alas, I just don't feel any differently. In fact, I found it a laborious effort to get through all of it. The stuff I dislike, I still dislike, and there's just more of it. Disc 8 is a collection of B-sides and rarities. Nothing really stood out for me. No real standouts. Don't get me started on the awful dance mixes on this disc either. Just, ugh. The less said, the better. Suffice to say that still today, I don't particularly care for Load. It still ranks pretty low for me in the pantheon of Metallica's hallowed discography. I'm looking forward to the final 8 discs of the box set, as these are all live performances, and there are more non-Load songs in those live sets than songs from Load. I'll report back when I'm finished. I also got a chance to check out the new single from Muse titled Unraveling. This is an absolute banger of a song. Muse chooses a completely different direction for their new single. It goes hard and heavy as opposed to the more pop-oriented sound that they've been using. If this is a sign of things to come from the new record, this could be one of the best Muse albums in a very long time. Perhaps even a contender for Album of the Year. And the last thing I checked out, and I know that Michael heard this also, is the brand new single from Carnival titled Drone. I'm not sure that I could contain my excitement when I saw this song was first announced. Carnival delivers their first new song in 4 years, and it doesn't disappoint. They continue their musical evolution as a progressive metal act. The closing of the song alone is worth the listen. The guys have not lost a beat. They've stated that this comes from a larger whole, which says to me that there is finally a new album on the way. The 12-year wait may finally be coming to an end. It has been stated that they are working out the new material live. Perhaps we will soon start hearing about the new material as fans flock to their socials to discuss. Michael, what did you think of the new song?
It's different.
It was different?
Yeah. It felt like the singer's voice has definitely evolved.
The musicians have evolved big time.
Mm-hmm.
It is a much different sound than the first record. And I know you haven't listened to any of their other stuff, so it may have come across a little jarring to you because it's definitely not that straightforward kind of alternative rock sound from the first album. Are you still looking forward to hearing more from it?
Yes.
Definitely need to get you to listen to their other stuff so you're ready for this. All right, Michael, anything else you want to discuss before we move on to our next segment?
No.
All right. So we will move on to our next segment. This is the Art of Discovery, wherein we take a listen to some bands that are either unsigned or just not getting the love and attention that we feel they should. And this time around, we are featuring several returning artists, Michael. These are all artists that we have featured on the show before, and they've put out some new material, and I thought we'd play this on the show this time around. We start out with a blackened death metal band out of Sweden. This is Against I with their new song, All Hope Is Gone.
When the darkness creeps in, and the smell of sulfur comes, the shadow seems to move, yet the wolves howl at the moon. In the dead of night so cold, with your breath almost freezing, curse me, the so-called God, who lets his children suffer. Abandon all hope, all is lost. Abandon everything else dear. Yet the midnight hour coming, and the blood moon rises. Curse me, the so-called God, who lets his children suffer. Abandon all hope, all is lost. Abandon everything else dear. Yes, the midnight hour is coming, and the blood moon rises. Sickening screams of terror echo amongst the snow-covered ground. Smell of blood and gunpowder mixed with the burning fire. Looking up to see the devil's sight. Yes, the final shots and the light. Curse me, the so-called God, who lets his children suffer. Abandon all hope, all is lost. Abandon everything else dear. Yes, the midnight hour is coming, and the blood moon rises.
And once again, that was Against I with their new song, All Hope Is Gone. You can purchase their music from the Twisted Flesh Recordings Bandcamp page at tfreco.bandcamp.com. Michael, what'd you think about that one?
That was pretty good.
Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Goes hard, right?
Yes.
I love those guys. All right, for our next song. This is a metalcore musician out of North Carolina. This is Meg Jacobs with her new song, Ego.
Betrayed by heartless wonders, built up in castles of stone, bullets and guns unrealized. Die alone, watch all the guns of your conscience tonight. Walk around, death of the ego like trace from the eyes. Both of us, one, die, all around.
And once again, that was Meg Jacobs with her song Ego. You can purchase her music from her website, megjacobs.com. Michael, Meg brought the heavy for the second time.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was amazing.
Great stuff. Yeah.
Good job.
Absolutely outstanding. Both of the songs that we featured from her on the show have just been outstanding.
Yes.
All right. Our final song for the segment comes from a metalcore band out of Frankfurt, Germany. This is Panic Waves with their new song, Disguise.
Screaming
And once again, that was Panic Waves with their new song, Disguise. You can purchase their music from the iTunes store. Michael, what did you think about that?
It's amazing.
Enjoyed it, eh?
Yes. That gets my recommendation of the week.
I thought all 3 songs on the segment were absolutely outstanding. Great job from all 3.
Yes.
We would love to once again thank Against I, Meg Jacobs, and Panic Waves for allowing us to play their music on our show. And if you would like to have your music played on our show, feel free to reach out to us at lightmovepod@gmail.com or contact us on one of our socials. We'd love to check your music out, and if we like what we hear, we'd love to feature it on the show. Michael, any last thoughts before we move on to our next segment?
Nope.
Okay. So we will move into our main topic of the episode. We are breaking down Steve Vai's 1993 release, Sex and Religion. A little bit of background. This is the 3rd studio album from American guitarist Steve Vai, and it was released under the band name Vai on July 23rd, 1993 through Relativity Records. It is known as the first major appearance of Devin Townsend, who performed vocals for the album and, of course, went on to later fame with his Devin Townsend project, Strapping Young Lad, his, own solo stuff. I mean, he's had a massive career. And at the time, Devin was only 19 years old, Michael. Sex and Religion reached number 48 on the US Billboard 200, number 17 in the UK Albums Chart, and also charted within the top 60 in 4 other countries. The song In My Dreams With You was released as a single, reaching number 36 on Billboard's mainstream rock chart. The personnel that were on this album featured Steve Vai on guitar, did some vocals, Devin Townsend on lead vocals, Terry Bozzio on drums, T.M. Stevens on bass, Kane Roberts on background vocals. And with that said, Michael, we'll start into our track-by-track analysis. We start with track number 1. This is An Earth Dweller's Return.
I like the guitar riff on this song, and throughout the song you kind of hear like clinking sounds, like marching and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a brief intro track. We definitely are hearing the sounds of, it sounds to me like breaking glass and kind of gusting wind. And then there's that really spacey guitar riff from Steve Vai. It's a pretty cool intro track. Not much to it, but it is a pretty cool intro track. Michael, anything else to say on this one?
No.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 2. This is Here and Now. Michael, what do you got on this?
This song is really upbeat, and I like the vocals, the guitar riff, the drum work. It's all amazing.
Yeah, let me go ahead and point out that there's some outstanding bass work on this from T.M. Stevens. I really dig the main guitar riff from Steve Vai. It's got a great groove. As you would expect, there's a killer guitar solo from Steve Vai. Terry Bozzio's drums kick ass on this song. He's driving that up-tempo sound. We get introduced to vocals from Devin Townsend here as well. I love Devin's vocals on this song. His cleans are fantastic, and he even gets into a few screams. It's a big performance. I feel like the lyrics seem to be about looking within and finding the power within yourself to make a difference. Michael, do you have anything else on Here and Now?
No.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 3. This is In My Dreams With You. Michael, what do you have on this?
Fun fact, this song is the most popular song on the album.
Per Spotify?
Yes.
Makes sense. It was the biggest charting single from the record as well.
I like the vocals and drum work and guitar work. I like the riff that Vi does in the middle of the song. That solo, good
Yeah, dude.
guitar solo, yeah.
Yeah. Got anything else?
Nope.
All right. So, yeah, this song is a ballad. It's much slower tempo than the previous song. There's quite a bit of keyboard work on this song. Townsend's vocal work is fantastic on this. He again gets to show off his range. This song is far less guitar focused. It's really carried by the keys. There is a brief guitar solo, which is pretty tasty, but that's really the most guitar you get with this. It's meant to be a bit more on the poppy side. It's not a bad song, but it doesn't really impress me all that much either. I know it was the biggest charting single on the song, but I honestly like Here and Now better. So, once again, I'm going against the grain. Michael, what else do you have on In My Dreams With You?
I do not have anything else.
Okay. We will move on then to track number 4. This is Still My Bleeding Heart. Michael, what do you have on this?
I like the opening to this song. I thought it was an acoustic guitar, but I may be incorrect.
You might be right. It's definitely a very clean guitar.
Yeah. I like the vocals, the drum work. I also like how they, throughout this album, how they were able to mix Devin's vocals to fit in with everything. And song is probably my favorite on the album.
It is a really good song. I also like the way this song opens. A simple, clean guitar melody with the sounds of Devin's ethereal vocals over the top. We then get into the song proper. The song has a ballad vibe to it as well, but it's far more guitar-driven than the previous song. I love Steve Vai's guitar solo on this song so much. As the song starts to end, we get just the sound of the drums and Townsend doing a bit of vocal scatting. It's definitely an interesting way to close out the song. Lyrically, I think this song seems to be about being deeply in love with someone, connected on a deep emotional level. I like this song quite a bit, and I can definitely see, Michael, why this would be your favorite. It's a really good song. Just curious, Michael, do you hear any difference in the way that Devin Townsend's performing on this as compared to what we heard on his latest effort, Power Nerd?
Yeah, there is definitely a difference. I don't know if that's because of how they did the mixing for his voice then, or that's his raw vocals during that time, but there is a noticeable difference.
Yeah, I think I agree. His vocals definitely seem to be a bit more raw on this, and that's not a bad thing at all, but you can definitely hear the musical evolution from here to where he's at on his latest record. Anything else to say on Still My Bleeding Heart, Michael?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 5. This is Sex and Religion, the title track from the record. Michael, what do you got on this?
I like the opening guitar work and the vocals and the drums work on this song is just amazing. This setup for this band was amazing.
You mean like the band itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's filled with some top tier musicians, man. Let me start with saying that I love the lyrics to this song and the meaning behind it. This song is taking aim at the hypocrisy of some churches, especially with their anti-sex messaging. I won't get into personal beliefs, and you can feel free to disagree all you like. That's the fun of art. But back to the song itself, it opens up with a heavy, dirty guitar riff from Steve Vai. It kind of reminds me of the opening to Sammy Hagar's Heavy Metal. This song just has a killer groove to it. I like the addition of the background choir during the chorus. Vai's guitar solo is brief, but it works so well. The drum work is very well done. The keyboards add depth to the song. This is definitely one of my favorites on the album by far. Great tune. Michael, anything else on Sex and Religion? All right. We will move on to track number 6. This is Dirty Black Hole. Michael, what do you got on this?
This song's opener is very different from any other song on this album with the speaking. And then it gets into the guitar work, and then it slowly evolves and adds everything to it with vocals and drums.
Did you like this song?
It was okay to me.
Yeah, the hesitation said that it was probably just okay. For me, this song is a fun, dirty, hard rocker. Steve Vai's guitar work is so good throughout. The solo in particular is a big standout. Vai just crushes it. I really enjoy the interplay between the keyboard and Steve Vai's guitar work. Devin Townsend shows us the power in his vocals. You can tell that he's having fun with this one. Lyrically, this seems to me that it's about someone that is obsessed with sex. Their mind is always in the gutter. However, they realize they have an addiction and are looking to be cured of it. I love the closing of the song. There's so much happening. It feels very jazzy. The double kick is going on the drums. There's more keyboard and guitar interplay happening before it comes to a sudden halt. Great song. I like this one. Michael, what else do you have on Dirty Black Hole?
I do not have anything else on it.
Okay. We will move right along to track number 7. This is Touching Tongues. Michael, what do you have on this?
Interesting song name.
Seems to be from the song title suggesting maybe a little bit of that French style kissing, eh?
The song also has a very different opener, kind of like the last track. I like the guitar work and also the drum work on this song, and I like the vocals. I'm gonna say this again. Steve Vai's guitar work is just amazing.
Yeah, dude. He's one of my personal favorite guitar heroes. He's absolutely fantastic. Gotten to see him live, and watching him do his thing live is a magical experience, man. It's good stuff. To the song, this is more of an instrumental piece. I hear the addition of a sitar. The keyboard work is bright and ethereal. The real highlight of this song, though, is Steve Vai's incredible guitar work. The song feels huge and vast. We do get some vocal work from Devin Townsend, but it's more like scat singing or vocalizing. I really can't emphasize enough how gorgeous this song sounds. Vai does an incredible job of creating a lush and vibrant soundscape. Great song. Absolutely great song. Michael, what else have you got on Touching Tongues?
Nothing.
Okay, So we'll move into track number 8. This is State of Grace. Michael, what do you have on here this?
The song's name doesn't lie. The song is very peaceful. I don't really know how to describe it.
Kind of reminds you of like meditation music.
Yeah. I didn't
or
know I
maybe
was
something
a
you would hear
Jedi.
while you're doing yoga.
I didn't know I was Jedi.
Yeah, this is another instrumental song. It's shorter than the previous song, has a very exotic vibe to it, has sort of an Indian influence to it. I definitely hear what appears to be a sitar. It's very chill and laid back. Not really much else to say about this one. Michael, do you have anything else on State of Grace?
No. Just very peaceful.
I have a suggestion for you. Maybe we should take this song and give it to Master Myers to play at your Taekwondo class. Okay. We move on to track number 9. This is Survive. Michael, what do you have on this?
I like the vocals, guitar work, and drum work. I guess I put vocals twice on my notes.
Well, maybe you just really like Devin's vocals on this. All right. Yeah, this one opens up with a Devin Townsend scream. There's a bit of a funk influence to this song. That bass line is definitely bringing the funk. I gather from the lyrics that this one is about unity, finding a way to come together. It's a very positive message. I really enjoy Vi's guitar solo on this. I enjoy Devin's vocal performance on this one as well. It's a good, clean performance. The vocal melody in the chorus has a really good hook to it. While not one of my favorites on the record, it's still pretty damn good. Michael, what else do you have on Survive?
I do agree with you on the not being like my favorite song on the album, but it's definitely good. And that's really it for this.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 10. This is Pig. Michael, what do you have on this?
This song has a cool opening with the harmony. I don't really know what else.
Is that just because you don't like the song?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think this is a fun, up-tempo, jazzy song from a musical standpoint. Steve Vai kills it on this song. There's also some fantastic bass work on this. My hat goes off to drummer Terry Bozzio on this. This song has a lot of changes in it, and Bozzio is all over it. Devin Townsend's vocal performance is a tour de force. He's just all over the place on this song. I can't even fathom the meaning behind this song. My best guess is that this is about getting called out for being chauvinistic. It's very odd from a lyrical standpoint. The highlights on this are definitely Vi's killer guitar work and Bozzio's drums. Great stuff. Michael, anything else on Pig? Would you like some pork chops or bacon?
Pork chops.
All right, so we'll move on to track number 11. This is The Road to Mount Calvary. Michael, what do you have on this one?
The song opens with people screaming.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like people are in pain and a lot of torment.
It just so random. You're just listening. It switches from the previous song, and all you're hearing is.
This is a very cool, very moody opening to the song. When I hear it, it kind of reminds me of like a scene in a movie where a huge discovery is being made, and there's this, enlightening, ethereal music playing. As the song continues on, we hear the wailing of people in pain, the sounds of torment. The music grows darker and more ominous. It's a pretty dark segue into the next song. Michael, do you have anything else on this one?
Nope.
Okay. We'll move on to track number 12. This is Down Deep Into the Pain. Michael, what do you have on that one?
There's some like screaming at the beginning of the song. It like kind of trails in from the last track. And then it gets into that crazy guitar riff from Steve Vai, and the drum work and vocals are just amazing.
Yeah, this is one of the longest songs on the record. It opens with a fury. There's some absolute guitar pyrotechnics from Steve Vai. The verses are quieter, with a more clean and subdued vocal performance from Devin Townsend. Then things take a more frenetic and disjointed sound during the chorus. Townsend goes into his screams. From a lyrical standpoint, this appears to be a song that is dealing with trying to reconcile why a loving God allows so much pain to its creation. Yes, there's love and joy, but there's also these moments of hurt and loss. There's a solid driving bass line on this song. The highlight for me, though, is Steve Vai's guitar work. Around the halfway point when he takes off on his guitar solo, it's pure magic. The closing minutes of the song features a long spoken word segment layered over some sort of very strange and disjointed music. Equal parts haunting, ethereal, jazzy, and creepy. It's kind of weird. It is a cool song, though, on the whole. Michael, do you have anything else on Down Deep Into the Pain?
I do not have anything else.
Okay. So we'll move on to track number 13. This is Rescue Me or Bury Me. This is the final song on the record. Michael, what do you have on this?
I think this song starts out with an acoustic guitar, but do not quote me on that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then it gets into the vocals. I really like that acoustic guitar work. I think it adds flavor, I feel like, to the songs when they do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. This song is the longest song on the record. The song opens with a very pretty, clean guitar riff. I think you're right. Again, I think it is an acoustic. Steve Vai himself takes over on the lead vocals with this one. Lyrically, this seems to be about wanting to repair a broken relationship. There's a lot of atmospheric layering on this song, along with Steve Vai doing some noodling around on the guitar. He puts on a bit of a technical mastery clinic on this one. He gets going on a killer run around 5.5 minutes in. I do feel like the song is a bit too long, but that signature Steve Vai guitar work is so damn good. All right. So now we'll get into our final thoughts and our album ratings. Michael, let's get your final thoughts on Sex and Religion.
Interesting album name. Other than that, I really like Steve Vai's guitar work. I like Devin Townsend's vocals. I like the drum work on this album. I feel like all around this was amazing. I'm gonna have to give it a 5.
Michael sneaking in with the perfect score here. I'm glad you liked this. I wasn't sure if you would.
Why you say that?
Just because it's a little different. I think Steve Vai's guitar work, his compositions, I think, are a little more on the jazzy side of things, so I didn't know if would take with you or not.
Or to turn me away.
For me, this was the first solo record I ever heard from Steve Vai. I remember the first time I heard it, I was completely blown away. I loved Vai's amazing guitar work. I loved Devin Townsend's vocals. This stood as one of my top records for quite a while. Revisiting this record reminded me of just why I loved it so much. For being just 19 years old, Devin Townsend absolutely kills it on the vocals. He gets to show off a wide range of vocal styles and tones. Having now listened to all of Devin's work since Sex and Religion, I find it interesting to hear the initial building of who he would later become. Terry Bozzio has some phenomenal moments on the drums. His ability to keep up with the complex music that Vai has written is top tier. Also, a shout out goes to bass guitarist T.M. Stevens. He lays down some terrific bass lines. At times, funky and jazzy. Steve Vai puts together a great band for this record. He's an incredible songwriter. I've run out of superlatives to describe his playing. It's just god tier. The man is just on a whole different level. I love his incorporation of different styles and influences on this record. It keeps things interesting and engaging. While it may not be his most beloved record, I still find it to be among my personal favorites. It gets a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
0.5.
Just a couple of the songs are just, in my opinion, okay. Nothing major that really brought it down. Just the fact that, it's not all great. You know what I mean?
I mean, at least not. At least it's not the whole entire album being inside.
well, yeah. If it was just that, we may not even be discussing this record. So that'll take us to our question for the audience. What is your favorite track on Sex and Religion, and why? Okay, so we'll move into our next segment. This is Can't Wait. New music coming soon. Michael, we already know that new Carnival is on the way. What else do you have?
I do not have anything else. Wait, let me check your list. Okay, so nothing. All right.
For me, on July 11th, Born of Osiris is releasing their new record, Through Shadows, and I am looking forward to hearing that. That seems to be the only thing that's actually on my radar for the next couple of weeks. Not saying that there couldn't be something else that does pop up, but that's the only one that's really on my list of things I'd like to check out. Also recently announced, I saw that on November 13th, we are getting something from The Reticent. What it is, I'm not sure. They posted a cryptic post on Instagram that just says the wait comes to an end. So I don't know if that means it's a new song, or maybe they're going to drop the whole record. I think this is probably more likely going to be a single, and then the announcement of the new record, but we'll see. Maybe it is going to be the new record. I mean, it's plenty of time between now and then to certainly put out a new record, so maybe the whole record's coming on that date. Looking forward to it either way. Alright, so now we will move into our listener feedback segment. And we did get one piece of feedback. This was regarding our last episode, episode 24, which was on Skid Row. And Date Back to Dawn got with us via Blue Sky and said, "Thank you so much for featuring us on The Art of Discovery. We're truly honored to be included alongside Half-Earth and Elite. As for Skid Row, 18 and Life hits hard, both musically and lyrically. Such a timeless classic. Much appreciation from Japan. And I have to agree, 18 and Life is a great song. Michael, anything from you on that?
Thank you for the feedback.
For sure. And I do have to mention real quick, I am beyond grateful for our listenership and for the fact that this previous episode on Skid Row seems to have been our most popular episode by far. So we certainly
bigger
seem to
than
have struck a
Metallica?
chord with people. What's that?
Even bigger than Metallica episode?
Yeah, this is by far our biggest episode. By far. All right, so now we will move into our final segment. This is Michael's journey, discovering a song from the past. And this time, we're going to get Michael's thoughts on War's Why Can't We Be Friends?
I wonder why.
A little bit of background on this. Why Can't We Be Friends is a song by the American funk band War from their 1975 studio album of the same name. The song reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the summer of 1975 and uniquely features each band member singing their own verse. And I thought this was a cool point. It was played in outer space when NASA beamed it to the linking of Soviet cosmonauts and U.S. astronauts for the Apollo-Soyuz test project.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Billboard ranked it as the number 24 song of the year 1975. I thought that was really cool.
Yes, that is. Very, very cool.
It did hit number 9 on the U.S. Hot Soul Singles chart and number 6 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Pretty cool stuff. All right, Michael, what do you have on this one?
I like the beat of this song. I also like the background vocals and the main vocals. And I like the drum work that pops up here and there. The song, it's understanding that this is a classic and a great song.
Did you like the lyrics to this song?
I did really fully catch on to all of the lyrics. But I kind of...
Google is your friend.
I know what Google is.
Just saying.
I know what Google is.
It takes you an extra 2.5 minutes of effort to read the lyrics.
I don't feel like it.
Just saying. This is such a fun song. The first time I remember hearing it was when I worked for a movie theater back in the late 90s. This song played over the closing credits to Lethal Weapon 4. It has a fun, funky groove to it. There's some funny lyrics in this that stand out to me. I don't know why, but the lyrics, "I know you're working for the CIA. They wouldn't have you in the Mafia," makes me chuckle every time. There's also the irony of the band being named War and singing a jovial song asking, "Why can't we be friends?" There are some great vocal hooks on this, and the chorus is instantly memorable and catchy. It's one of those songs that always makes me smile when I think of it or when I hear it. Such a fun song. Good stuff. Michael, let's get your rating out of 5 on this one.
I give this a 5 out of 5.
Perfect score for Michael. Actually, a perfect score for the show for Michael. All right. So, up next on your journey, Michael, we're going to cover Richard Marx's Should Have Known Better.
Should have known better.
And for our main discussion on our next episode, we're going to be talking about Killswitch Engage's 2002 release, Alive or Just Breathing.
Are they really just breathing?
Sometimes I wonder if I am. All right. And with that said, we want to hear from you. We will read your emails and messages on the show. We have only one request. Keep them clean. There are several ways to contact us. You can email us at lightmovepod@gmail.com. You can also reach us on several social media platforms, such as Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, or Threads. Details on how to connect with us are in the show notes. We are part of the SPDM Crew Podcast Network. Check out all the podcasts on the network by visiting spdmcrew.com.
Show, subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and share with your friends and family. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a variety of other platforms. We are also on YouTube. Can't find us on your chosen platform? Shoot us a message and let us know. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This helps us be found in the algorithm. Make them good and we'll read them on the air. Are you in a band and you'd like for us to check you out and possibly drop a recommendation on the show? Shoot us a message. We'd love to check you out and give you a shout. We'd love to thank you very much for listening to the Leitmotif and Movement podcast.
Take care and enjoy music.